Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Kuri, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. I've been thinking about this for the past 4 or 5 days, and I've been wanting to come on and been so busy. So now we've got these 3 clients that have come on, and it's been all hands on deck to deliver a result. I think if there's anything that we can do is deliver a result as quick as possible. And that's exactly what we're doing. So it's really exciting, and we are coming up to episode 200, and we've got a massive special for you guys, and really excited to be doing this. It's going to be a 30-day challenge, so we'll make it probably break it down to 3 episodes, but really we're going to be talking about every day. What would you do? In fact, what would I do if I was finding myself in a sexless relationship? In the span of 30 days, what would I do day by day to get better within the relationship? And part of it is what I'm going to be talking right now, which is I was having a conversation with a potential client, and they were telling me how that the relationship has changed. They were once happy, and then now she's unhappy, he's unhappy, they're not having sex, and everybody's unhappy. And I was like, and it took him back a little bit when I said, happiness is not the most important thing within your relationship, because I know how it felt to pursue happiness within my relationship, and pursuit of happiness was like a cancer to my relationship. I'll put it that way. And I'm saying it this way because I want you to pause and think. Happiness isn't the indicator of whether you are having a good life, and happiness isn't either an indicator that you're having a good relationship. The real indicator that you need is fulfillment, because fulfillment is more sustainable, whereas pursuit of happiness has got this fluctuating tendency. So it goes, sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, and again sometimes you've got no control whatsoever to it. It's based on circumstance, environment, it's based on time of the month, it's based off of whether the kids are acting up, it's based off of whether her boss is acting up, whether your boss is acting up. And if you try and measure that as how your relationship is going to go well, you're screwed. And when I discovered this was so liberating, because when you measure it that way, this is when you measure it that way, you actually start seeing why you're in a sexless relationship. Because you start playing defense. And the moment you start playing defense within a relationship, especially as a guy, your value drops. And I remember walking around with no value whatsoever within the relationship, walking around the house thinking, why is she not having sex with me? Why is it that she doesn't find me attractive? And it's because I was focusing on the wrong metric within the relationship, which then made me feel upset about the fact that we were unhappy, which made me feel like I was a failure, which then made me think that I was not good enough, which was just like this slippery slide into depression. Now, some of you guys are suffering with depression. Some of you guys are suffering with all sorts of mental fatigue, because you're trying so hard to pursue this thing we call happiness that is absolutely crushing your relationship and leaving you inside a sexless relationship. And hopefully you can hear what I'm trying to say, because this is extremely powerful. Like, if you get it, it's literally going to change the rest of your life. And when you pursue happiness, this is what we call cheap thrills. You start doing things like date night, weekend away, because you're really looking for this spark. And just a side note, if that's what you think, I'm preaching to the choir here, you probably tried it already. Date nights and weekend getaways, and those are good if your relationship is already feeling fulfilled in your house. You have to sort this out in your house first. And I learned this the hard way, because I remember taking my wife away thinking that, okay, we're going to go, I got this itinerary planned, we're going to be doing this, and then after that we're going to go for dinner, and then we're going to go and do this. And we had an amazing time, you know. Go for dinner, go for the theatre, go to the hotel, everything is smelling good. There's a special bar. In fact, one time we had a bar that was overlooking the London sky. It was incredible. And then afterwards we retired to the bedroom, and then we had the most amazing lovemaking, and everything was just so perfect. And I went home thinking, I've cracked it. Everything has changed. It's amazing. I've done it. And then only to go back by 3 days in, we're back to where we were. And the weird part about it is that I felt even worse than I was before I left. It was, in fact, the feeling I felt a few days after was worse. And it bothered me for a while, up until a few months ago. I figured out why. And it was the fact that I had gone, if my expectation for happiness was a 10 when I was before the date, we went, had 80% of happiness. And because we've had 80% of happiness, my expectation of happiness when we come back, I was thinking it was going to be 50. But what that does is just send me back to 10. But because my expectation had moved up, it felt like I'd gone backwards. And it felt shit. Now, I'm saying this based on my experience, but I know I'm preaching to the choir, because you've taken your partner to the date night, to the weekend getaway. You've spent money. You've made it candlelight. You've made it romantic. You've done, all these things where you try to make it romantic, make it this most unbelievable weekend ever. And it still hasn't changed the relationship. Gentlemen, when I'm speaking right now, I'm speaking to you because I know that if you can change from happiness being the indicator of what makes your relationship perfect and makes it amazing, and you shift it to being fulfillment. And now when you talk about fulfillment, I'll just give you a quick strategy when it comes to fulfillment. Fulfillment has got everything to do with you behaving or eliciting behaviors of a leader, being more assertive in the relationship. When I say being a leader, this weekend was an interesting one. We were having a really good time, had an amazing sex in the morning, had a nice breakfast, and we started doing the day-to-day thing that you would do on a weekend, making sure that the house is clean and so on and so forth. And we were communicating. By Sunday, we're still having that really good vibe. And I asked her to do something assertive, a little bit dominant, but it was going to save us half the time. Then she turned around and said, "Well, why are you always bossing me around?" And I did not engage emotionally. I didn't say, "Oh no, I'm so sorry for bossing you around." I said, "No, it's going to take us half the time. If you go and do this, it takes us half the time. Then we've got the rest of the day together." And kept that frame, kept bold frame. And the most magical thing happened. Came round, kissed me because I love you, and she went and did it. And that experience was so much better than way before, because she would put up a protest. And when she protests, what I'm saying, I would sort of think, "Oh, no, I don't want her to feel upset in order for her to feel happy or to continue for us feeling happy." And then all of a sudden, I will back down. I'm not being my true self. Then she gets frustrated because I've not been assertive and dominant. And then because she's upset, she says something that will upset me even more. And then instead of that interaction, which took, 20 minutes, the interaction for us to figure out what was happening, and had the rest of the day wasn't amazing. She was loving, she was attentive, she was, "Do you need anything else? Can I do anything else for you?" As compared to if I got upset or I backed off, and then she got annoyed that I backed off and I was not assertive, and then she'd say something else to make me even more upset. And then for the rest of the day, I'm sulking because I feel like shit. I don't feel like a man. I don't feel She thinks I'm useless as well, and there's this weird situation that happens. And I'm really trying to paint this picture because I know how you guys feel because I've been there before, and I was just speaking from experience, and I know exactly how you feel because I remember I was speaking to one of the clients, and he said it's like if I had a diary, you're reading out of my diary, and I was like, I've lived your life. I've been lucky to escape it. So I'm really fortunate to be able to speak to you guys about this, and I really hope this is the new way we're going to be doing the podcast episode. We're really going to be more impactful. I'm going to spend less time doing that podcast and really focus on client results. But when I do come on, I want to try and deliver as much value as possible. And today, hopefully, I've delivered that for you. If you've got any question, go to our Instagram, thriving_tribesmen, and you can ask any question. Or if you want us to make an episode about something, make an episode about something. Or if you want to give us a feedback, your feedback is most welcome. So please go and give us some feedback. And if you can share it with a friend, somebody who might be struggling, please share our podcast episodes. I'm going to start making more content that's shareable. And if you want, I can even make content that's shareable to your partners as well. So I'm really, really excited to be making this episode. I feel really, really fortunate and really want to see you guys succeed, and look forward to episodes 200 and 202, 203. They're going to be absolutely incredible. So thank you very much for listening, guys. I'll be speaking to you soon. Take care.